spent most of the day redoing all this wiring. I'll put some pictures up of what I found inside the motor. So that piece is what I cut out of the motor. It's got a roll pin in there that holds the handle on, went straight into that, straight through it. 50 amp fuse, all cabled, right size cable. Chopped all that shit out. So I've also rewired the motor, shortened the cable a lot, done all the wiring inside, made sure it can't get caught. Redone that, because when it got hot it melted it. But anyway, today we're going to be building a lure. I've got some red cedar given to me, so I'm going to cut some of that up. Let's make a lipless crankbait out of that. Hopefully I can get it done today and we'll get out on the water tomorrow in that and we'll test it. So, nice squared up piece of timber ready to work with. Alright, hopefully that lighting's alright. I had one of my freaking LED lights blow up. So considering the fundamentals of a lipless crankbait, right? All your weight's in its head. So that 55mm, 6mm high, fairly thick bit of wood, but I'll see how it goes. Let's cut. So, while I was on that sander, stood her up that way and squared it off. Need to mark a center line. So, before I forget, I'm going to establish the eye, because I always forget. And being a lipless, having some real focusing issues with this thing. So because it's a lipless crank, I'm going to taper it from there to the front just a tiny amount. And then from there to the back a bit as well. Alright, I'm going to drill that eye and I'm going to taper it in. Now, do something my sander doesn't like doing. I'm angling it back up that way, back into the bed. Just going to try and get some of this meat out of the back end of it. So while I'm here, I may as well drill the eye. Normally you'll notice I go for quite large eyes. This one I'm not. Keep it nice and subtle, 6mm. So from that section all the way up to his nose, actually I'm going to leave quite square. So it's only really this back section I'm going to carve off. I've got to grab my carving knife. Focus at carving. It's a good knife. So pretty much carve that so it's not so thick. And then also on the front, just going to carve down on an angle. Focus your stupid thing. So make that skinnier and then round over the back edges. Being a lipless, I literally could have left this whole thing square. Probably still work. Just want to make it look a little bit prettier. really all I'm doing for the shaping. The rest of it we just hand sand for a minute. Then we'll come back and we might even put a gill in this one. We'll see how we go. 180 aluminium oxide emery. Punch a little hole so we can line this up. So that resembles that. You reckon something like that? Can't help myself, I'm going to make that eye bigger. Don't know whether an 8 or a 10 though. We'll see what fits. Alright, so we can just fit a 10mm into it. Bubbles out a little. Perfect. Now I need to have a look at how much lead I can get in here. Didn't want to bring you along for the lead, but fit 2 of these number 1 sinkers in it. 7.64 grams of lead went into it. Hopefully it's enough to make it sink. That plus all the hardware, it should sink. Alright, so now UV resin, cover up that lead hole, and then I might even seal it with UV resin. So I went inside and grabbed the wife's fingernail thing. I should just get on bloody eBay or something and buy one for the shed, shouldn't I? I probably use it more often than she does. Alright, in you go, buddy. With that lead in the front, it won't sit upright. So I gotta hold it. End up with nice tanned fingers. Alright, so I decided I'm using UV resin. I'm a little bit concerned about the sun because it's creeping in behind me. I've literally got sun on the back of my legs at the moment, so hopefully it doesn't interfere with this. But if I can feel the sun on the back of my legs, that means there's only like 10-15 minutes of sun left, then it's gone. Just need to make sure if I get too much in that carving, I clear it out. That's all I'm doing. So as you can see, let's just spin it slowly. That big lure the other day when I spun it on the drill and put it in the sun, that worked pretty well too. Alrighty, he's all cured in the UV. 400 grit, just try and smooth him off a bit. We're ready. Starting with black. And while that black's in the brush, we'll work on these eyes as well. Alright, it took some finding. So next colour, moon yellow. Literally just go to the next size up on that eye stencil and put a very tiny yellow ring around that black. Alright, so after that yellow, a little bit of scarlet red. So with this red, I'm purposely going to go light because I'm putting silver over the top. Seal of silver is going to cover that whole lure now. That's why I put the black down first to make the silver pop. Quite a nice flake in this, but first up, let's do these eyes. Alright, that's the eyes done. Don't have to come back to them at all. Next colour down is going to be smoke black. So I've still got the air pressure turned way up high. Alright, next colour. What the so pressure down, shooting about 15 PSI that is. All I'm doing for this one is probably just chasing the shoulder. Detail more screen. Alright, scale mesh. So this is tool. Pretty sure that's how it's pronounced anyway. So I'm only really focusing on the back and the sides. And I'm putting the scales on sideways, dumbass. If I can get them down the back of the head I will, but I'm not overly focused on that. Straight on his face. Hopefully that doesn't permanently stick it to it. My arch nemesis, hate pearl white. So from the belly up, pearl white, cover the gill. Not much. From the top down we're going bright green, yellow, blue colour shift. So top down plus on the back. Again, cover the gill. Let's take this mesh off and see how we're done. Smoke black, low pressure this time. So I'm going to give it a little bit of red on that, a bit on this face, touch on its tail, and then we're going to call that done. So the red, scarlet, super low pressure. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. I'll clean up, let this guy dry, then we'll glue the eyes in. So we've got no drip gel, super glue. Alright, let that super glue set up, we'll put the hardware in it, and we're done. Don't know who I've seen that trick from, but so much better. Instead of ripping your whole foil off, you just do a little bit so you can pour it slower. Might have been Baker Builds maybe. I've done the measurements on mine. It's 1 to 1.6, so 2.3 to 2. Alright, let's clear. So we have had a slight clear coat issue. Because I've rushed this one through last night, it's only a single clear coat, which is sort of to be expected. You can see around the chin there and around the eye, there's a little bit of, like, it's still good, still fishable. And this side of that tiny little bubble behind the eye you get. So if you don't fully seal behind those eyes, but because this is a little speed demon lure, I think what it took me just over 2 hours yesterday from start to clear coat. So we're going to get some hooks on it and go and fish it today. Make sure it actually swims. I've never used that red cedar before, and I know it's extremely buoyant, so this thing could still float. I haven't checked that yet. Just went off my prior knowledge and winged it. What size hooks? Hopefully these rings aren't too big. Those hooks are going to foul, I think, but I currently don't have any smaller. Look at that, perfect. They don't overlap. There he is, all hooked up. Let's throw him in the water and make sure he sinks. Trust me, I have my doubts. We'll weigh him first. So 13.75. Don't know why I'm weighing him. I've got no idea what it should be. Alright, let's see what he does in the water. Perfect, like a rock. Alright, I think we nailed that. Let's get this boat hooked up and go. Alright guys, here we are. So hopefully I got the camera on the head in the right friggin' mode today. Out on the dam, the motor seems to be performing fine so far. Weather's pretty good. So I brought 3 rods with me and I've been lent a fly rod. So if I see any carp out here I might have a crack at that. So bad part is I've shaved my head. Now this hat doesn't fit properly, it's a bit loose. But it's all good. Alright, I think I've got everything set up now. I'm going to head across this other side and we'll start casting. I need to figure out a better solution for that camera up the front too. When I'm on the casting deck casting, all you get is crutch shots. Put those straight up on the OnlyFans. Let's see if this guy even swims. Yeah, he works. Don't know whether you guys will pick that up, but hard to keep him near the surface, so you get a little shimmy on him. Alright, let's get into it. Holy shit, that casts well. Okay guys, I got the fly rod set up. I'm giving up on my lipless crank. There's not much going on. But I've seen a few carp, little school of 3 or 4, just keep going along this bank backwards and forwards. One potentially real big one. So I'm going to try and track them down and try and fly them. I haven't used a fly rod for probably well over 20 years. How old am I now? 39. I would have been probably 15 last time I used one, so could be a bit of a show. We'll see what happens. So let's duck back into here into the calm water. See if I can find them again without spooking them. That's Tilly's. Yeah, big school of fucking Tillies just mouth breathing everywhere. Look at him, fucking tilapia. Just gonna cruise the bank looking for a mud marlin on the way back. If I find one, I'll cast at it. If not, this is my journey home. I'm surprised I can still sort of somewhat cast a fly reel. I put the fucking reel on upside down, but don't worry about that.